Hi, I'm Craig Blessing with Datacastle. Datacastle RED is a hybrid cloud service for endpoint backup and protection. As a Microsoft Gold platform provider, we offer a Azure consumption tool for partners around the globe. Today we're here to talk about how the Azure platform and security model makes our solution more productive. Gary, can you talk a little bit, Gary Sumner, our CTO, Gary, can you talk a little bit about some of how the platform enhances the security and scalability of the solution?
Sure. So with the solution in place, we can instantly, through the Azure Management Portal, increase the capacity and the scalability of the solution on demand. And at the same time, we get all of the benefit of not having to manage directly that hardware and that infrastructure, and get all of the certifications in place that we need in the data center. We can actually just run off the back of what Microsoft's done in certifying the Azure solution in the cloud. So things like HIPAA and FedRAMP and PCI compliance, basically we get those for free.
And we also were able to just geo-replicate, right? We don't have to do anything to have geo-replication.
Correct. So by default, when we move data up into the cloud and we put it in storage, Azure itself geo-replicates within the data center and within its paired data center.
Right. And a key thing that people worry about is security. And so the data actually for us is encrypted from an endpoint all the way back through Azure. Can you give a little description of how we do that?
Yeah, sure. So all the data that we generate on the client for backups on the endpoint device itself actually gets encrypted with unique encryption keys. But you don't have to manage those directly. They're managed by our software, but every piece of data, when it moves off the device, is encrypted, and we actually move it through an encrypted channel as well, so it's actually doubly encrypted. When it gets to the back end, it's just an opaque piece of data that all we can do is store. There's no further analysis that can be done on that data.
Perfect. And then finally, we give administrators a couple of things actually to do to help mitigate data breach and other protections that happen system-wide. Can you talk about a couple of those?
Yeah, through our management console and policy, we can do things like remotely wipe devices. So if you have a device that's gone lost or stolen, you can trigger a wipe if that comes up on the network, or you can have a time-based wipe so that if it never shows up, it'll wipe itself. But you can also do things like put devices on legal hold, so that without interrupting the daily flow of those people, you can capture those devices at that point in time. And even do things like encrypt it locally at rest on the endpoint itself with something we call at-rest encryption. And then everything that gets done gets audited. So if you need to go back and look at it afterwards, you know who did what and when and why.
Right. So a great platform for endpoint protection is Datacastle RED on Azure. For more information, visit us at datacastlered.com. Thank you.